Hello my dear Taurus, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between April 16 and April 30, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I have done my readings in the order of most viewed up till now, but next time I'll do the readings in the order of most liked, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I have put astrological information for the month of April in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se, where you can also find and buy all the decks I'm using in this video. There is a subscription service up on my webpage that you can take part of if you want to learn more about spiritual growth, yoga and tarot. So for this reading I used the Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma, and I have used copies of this deck since early 2000. So I'm used to do reversals, and I will do reversals also in this reading. Okay, so I will start shuffling your cards, and when I open your deck here, Taurus, I see postponement and thunderbolt. So it's Four of Swords and the Tower, and the Tower is in reverse. So it seems like you are trying to avoid some kind of disaster. And maybe you are trying to avoid it by not fully living, not fully expressing yourself, not fully going after your dreams. So we'll see. Okay, so I pull the Divine with Love and Light. And here we have ordinariness and the Thunderbolt as well. So ordinariness, it's usually like you have a mission in your life, something that you need to do, something that you need to get working on. But maybe you are preoccupied with something else. Maybe you are preoccupied with some kind of life disaster, or just keeping things, like trying to keep things together while the ground is shaking underneath you. So I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we have ripeness. It's 9 of Pentacles together with 8 of Pentacles in the reversed. Again, it's I'm thinking you have been trying to avoid like a certain disaster, maybe by doing good, or doing what you think that others want you to do. Okay, you have tried to be a servant maybe to others, because the 9 of Pentacles is talking about self-love and becoming, like, starting to take care of your own inner garden and make it into a beautiful place. Maybe you don't have time for something that you do for others. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it feels also like this might be how you persuade yourself. I'm feeling some kind of shyness here, that it is like a mission that you have to do, but you have maybe also a lot of excuses for it, that you need to work on yourself better, you need to be more self-improved, you can't talk to the masses before you are have your crap together. But we really don't want to get advices from people that haven't been through what we are being through. I can take this example of politicians. Okay, we once had a politician saying here in Sweden that it was a little bit of an economy disaster, and in Sweden we had like the economy was failing, and the government was forced to put in some extra measurements. But people were worried, how are the ordinary people going to make it if we do all these necessary things, we take these decisions. And one politician then said, well, they need to start to use their savings money. Everyone has like a year's salary on the bank, so they need to start to use that. And everyone looked at this person as they were from the moon. Usually no one, an ordinary person, has 1 year's salary on the bank. So this is what happens when we get advices from people that haven't lived through the stuff. Okay, so maybe you are you want to heal other people, but you think you can't heal them if you are not healed yourself. Maybe you want to talk about a topic, maybe go out and talk to the publics about the topic, touring around the world, maybe telling about something, but you think, well, maybe I can't do this because even if I feel like I want to, I can't because I haven't figured it out just yet. Or if you want to write a book, or if you want to maybe you want to start to work as something, but you haven't got the education just yet. It's something like this, some kind of shyness or modesty that's preventing you from stepping into the shoes that's already ready for you. And maybe you are scared to be like this politician as well, to not know enough, so you will make a mistake. But it was I think it was funny, and a lot of people learned a lot from this mistake that this person did. So I call the 6 elements, and here we have 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. We also had 9 of Pentacles. So it seems like you're dealing with some manifested stuff or something that wants to get manifested. And it seems like patience, but I'm feeling that maybe you have been patient the whole of your life, and maybe you are not getting to what it is that you need to do, okay? But of course, patience, something might need to mature first. Maybe you need to go that education to feel safe, not because you really need it, but because you want a diploma to put on your wall. Or maybe you need to, if you are going to write a book, maybe you want to go a writer's class. If you want to, you feel like you would like to heal people, maybe go one more healing class, okay? Something. It doesn't have to be education, but it's the most prominent thing I'm picking up. So for many of you, it will be that you want to feel more sure. So you kind of need to persuade yourself that you are good at this, that it is possible for you to actually manifest this in your day-to-day life. So 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether. We have the Knight of Wands sticking up here, Sagittarius. Usually someone being in a hurry, a creative force, getting this eureka moment, I know what to do, and coming like an arrow. Earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, to join us here today and give us a clear view reading for my dear Taurus viewers. So I want my dear Taurus to have love in their lives. Queen of Wands as well, and sadness. Yes, an experience and a burden. So it's like you can't be this because you have all this. It's some kind of self-punishment is what I'm feeling, or you are not happy with yourself, you are not happy with your life, you are not happy. It's a lot of things that you are not happy with, an experience and the burden. So maybe someone has told you it's very easy to do this because people are very fragile at this exact point. You can tell to someone, well, you can't really advise other people if you haven't got your crap together yourself, or well, are you really can you really be a psychiatrist now? You have just been 2 years to school. Have you really learned everything? This is really a way to mess up with someone's self-esteem. But it can't be messed up if a person doesn't really believe this already deep down inside of themselves. So this is the burden, this is the voice in your head that's telling you that you might not be able to do it, or if you want to do it, you need to jump through a lot of hoops and climb a lot of mountains and make a lot of, like, accomplish a lot of challenges first before you can be worthy. So it's like you're lacking of worthiness, but the worthiness comes from yourself being connected with your source self, and to know your life mission, what you're supposed to do. To go here and waste all this time, we don't have such a long lives, so if you don't start early, you might not be finished, and you will have to do this like again in another lifetime. And it's kind of good if you are a little bit hurrying up with this. So I'm not sure if I remember to say the whole mantra about all these jumpers. Okay, threw me off. So creative success. I want you to have creative success and be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny, if I didn't say it. So I will tune in for a few seconds. So, my dear Taurus, this is your future there. And this is your now there, and this is the past. So in the past here we have the ripeness, and it's in the reversed. And it's thunderbolt here, and conditioning there, and exhaustion here. So 9, 9, 16, 15, 15, 16 maybe. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that you don't love yourself enough, so you don't have like a strong enough foundation, and it's something that you need to acquire. As I said, you probably have something important to do, so if you don't get yourself together and start to believe in yourself, it might never be like any order to this, your life's mission. And exhaustion is kind of when you are trying to, you're putting too high of obstacles for yourself to be able to do this. If you want to do something, start simple. Okay, if you want to start a company, start with something that where you don't have to have big warehouses or big you don't have to rent a big like a locale for you to be in, or try to make it as simple as possible, and just start it as a hobby or something. You don't have to loan a lot of money from the bank, if it's some other kind of creative thing that you want to do, start small. Make it to a playfulness, like a happiness. If you want to write a book and you're so unsure about what it is that you're supposed to do, maybe just put it on an own web page. Okay, and people can download it from there. You don't have to have a publisher maybe. And if you want to, you have a dream job to, for example, be an actress, maybe you can start to cast in your own movies and just start somewhere. Just start to do it. Put some action into it. Build the foundation for yourself. Life experience, direct life experience is always the best way. And here we have in the now, and it's possibilities. So it's like you're roaming above and looking for possibilities, but it's almost like you're waiting for some kind of miracle. You want something, you want someone to discover you, or something to fall in your lap, so you're holding on for this particular moment, but this particular moment might never come, and you have just hold on, and then the run was over. You weren't even starting, like you weren't even start running. You just, I missed the starting shot. Okay, but it's a good card. Possibilities is tell us that you have a lot of possibilities. Now you just need to decide upon something, make a choice, and put in some action. It won't come just like a UFO landing in front of you, and here you have it. This is the thing that you're supposed to do. No, you're going to have to be born like a dream, and then you're going to have to put it into action. Okay, and here we have the outsider. So why would anyone want to listen to you? So 5, the outsider. It's when we feel yes, that we are not worthy of love, and how could anyone love me or want to take this, buy this from me. It doesn't have to be like something that you manufacture. It can be anything. It's like just a setting inside your head. Even if you would go and sell things on a flea market, maybe you would have this this problem that and maybe lower your prices so much that people will think that everything is just junk. It can also be in the lovers market, that you don't even put yourself out there, because who would want you? So it's an unnecessary low self-esteem, because you know what you're worth. You know how much wisdom you have. It's just that maybe you're trying to compare yourself to others, while your particular skill, or what you have to contribute in a love relationship, or in a work situation, is something unique for you. It can't be compared. Okay, it's something that's it's very pristine. It feels like it's like some mysterious present in a box, that if you would reveal it, all people would be like, oh. and you are keeping it a secret because you think it's nothing. Okay. So, and this is in the past, and we have change here. So we saw also the Tower. So the divine wants you to do something, and they're going to change the course of direction in your life. And it's better to get on your feet and start moving in the direction that the wind blows, instead of trying to, no, I can't, it won't be possible. You can't ask this from me, because when the energy is like this, it's a changing energy, and you will be dragged along if you're refusing it. So it's like with the Tower card. First it's whisperings, they are asking you, and then it's a little bit louder, and then a little bit louder, and eventually it's a blow to the head, because that's the only way to get your attention. Next card is aloneness. So it's connected a little bit to the nines that we saw, 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Wands. So being very exhausted while you're trying to perform this, what you want to contribute with. It's maybe like you're a little bit tired of people. So you want to heal these people, but you don't want to have them in your house. And you want to share your wisdom with them, but you don't think that they are ready. So it's still like you're hiding. It's still like you're having this as a secret. You feel so very alone, like no one could not possible ever understand this. Why? And it's like you feel that that's you won't stand the scrutiny of others, that it can't stand it, because they will find something that's wrong with you or with your performance, and therefore making it, like mocking it or something. And here we have playfulness, so that's Page of Wands. And so this is not something that you need to have valued. You just need to do it because you feel like it. Okay, so people can kind of take it or leave it. It might be this, that you are, as I was onto this with sharing knowledge. Maybe you are sharing some knowledge, some idea that you have out of the blue. You wake up one morning, you have this crazy idea, you want to tell everybody from the rooftop, and you start doing so, and it's just like 5 people coming to your assemblies, and it's a nice little crowd, but it's just 5 people, so you think it's a waste of time. 20 years later, someone picks up this, what you have, what you were first with, you came up with this first, and they will make a big movement out of it, and it will liberate a lot of people. You can see this happening a lot of times. Someone has written something in an old book somewhere, and 100 years later it's the biggest scoop of, and it couldn't come if this first person wouldn't put down the seed. And it's like you want to put down the seed, but you think that it has to appeal to the masses, and it doesn't. It just have to come out there. It doesn't have to appeal to anyone. Okay, stress. Yes, 7 of Wands, and it's in the reversed. So you feel you can't defend this dream. Maybe you are the only one dreaming it. Maybe you are first. It's a little bit what I saw also for Scorpio, that they had this totally new thing. So it was something that came only from them. So since they were the only ones seeing it, rest of the world will think that they are crazy. And I'm feeling a little bit the same with you. So you don't want to be seen as crazy. You don't want to start to tell your lover that we should really, like, think of the people in the 70s when the wives started to tell, I want us to go to couples therapy. What? You're crazy. Yes, that's why I want to go. Yeah. So and now it might be like a little bit more okay, and people might even use this as a really good tool to make their relationship work and come over the challenges. Okay, so what was a big deal then isn't such a big deal now. It's more like approved. Yes, of course, good on you, kudos on you to doing this, to invest in your marriage. And 50 years ago it would have been something very embarrassing. So what you are doing now is probably feels like it's a little bit embarrassing, and you can't really show your face in public and stand up for this, but it's something that you really need to stand up for, because it's you. It's your essence. Your life will be boring and unfulfilled if you're not doing this, if you're not showing the world your qualities, even if the world doesn't want it. And here we have nothingness. So this is your card. Taurus is the Hierophant in the reverse. So in this deck, the Hierophant is the connection with the God, kind of everything or nothing. It's the state of everything before Big Bang. Nothing was there. It's like dreamless sleep. You don't have any consciousness. You don't know where you were. You don't know your whereabouts when you're not conscious. So it's like unconsciousness, but yet it isn't. It's something mysterious. It's something that eludes us, because we can't really think in the terms of universe never having an end, or it's not being at all. Imagine that there's nothing. Nothing has ever been and nothing will ever come. That's hard to imagine, because it's kind of impossible to imagine nothing. But this nothingness card has very many different layers. So it's about consciousness that once arose from nothingness, and this consciousness bursted out in Big Bang, and all these different energies that was once one became many, because we were kind of sent out to investigate ourselves, to experience the world, like the game of life, Leela, and come back again to the source, even more enlightened than we were before. So it's like you don't want to take part of this. No, thank you. I have nothing to contribute with. I'm going to sit here and knit some socks and waiting for my dying days. So don't do that, because you have a very something beautiful to contribute with to the whole, and without your contribution that didn't come because you were too humble, the world will be not as wonderful as it could have been with your particular unique treasure in it. Next card is Understanding, and it's Page of Cups in the reverse. So again, too modest, doesn't share your gift to the world. You have this beautiful jewel, but you're hiding it underneath your clothes. You don't want to shine. You don't want to have like all eyes on you. No attention for me, thank you. You don't want to look beautiful. You don't want to be admired. You don't want people to see the true beauty. So you're kind of dressing down a little bit, or trying to have a more humble look on you. So you need to find yourself, who you really are, underneath this humbleness that's being like a old blanket over everything that's Taurus. Okay, next card here is Courage. So courage is this jewel inside of you that decides that it needs to grow, even if it doesn't know the growing ground. Okay, it's okay, so I will shine my light even if no one will listen. I will do my thing even if no one will ever buy my paintings. Look at the poor artists. They historically they haven't barely made it through the day, and when they are dead and have cut on one ear off, they are like the hero of the masses. Okay, how did that happen? We just couldn't give this little seed the compliments when they were actually alive, but when they were dead. And it's kind of this with this Courage. It's 8. It's the Strength card for Leo. So it's about seeds fall everywhere, also in very unfertile ground, and this flower will stand here and die here, and it will fertilize the land. New flowers will come, new seeds will come, they will flower here and die here. More fertile like soil for more seeds. Okay, eventually it might be a forest here, but someone needs to go first, and that someone seems to be you, Taurus, even though you are unwilling. So this big task for you, too big maybe, you think, but it's not. You were made for this. It's your birthright. Don't go wasting it. Yes, abundance, birthright. You have something to share with others, something beautiful that could fertilize the lands. It's just to get up and do it. And it's also, you need some self-respect. This person, he lives in a place where there's a lot of high mountains around, so it's like he's living in Himalaya, or maybe I know it's not Greece but Greek, but maybe he's living there with the gods in a very elevated place. So you need to elevate yourself. Don't let people get to you. Don't let them drag you down. It's just also your own thoughts being mirrored on the outside. So these poor people, they are just saying to you what you're already thinking. They are just mocking you in the way that you are already mocking yourself. So you need to have better boundaries to be able to be resilient enough to share this treasure to the world, the treasure that is you. Taurus, traditionally you are the farmers. Okay, during your age a lot of farming was happening, and we had the bull everywhere in culture, like on Mykonos or in Egypt, or Hinduism also with the cow. So you fed the world, and now it's time for you to feed it again, maybe with some more spiritual thing this time. It might be very spiritual to feed people with flowers and bread and vegetables as well. So it doesn't matter in the way you do it. Maybe you need to feed them with food. Okay, good food. And here we have postponement, and it's in reversed. So even if it stresses you out, this goal is too big for you, it's making your heart race, it's too much. It doesn't have to be too much. Start with one thing, do that thing, see what it leads, take the next thing. Okay, it's time to come out of the postponement. It's time to start to live today. Do the things today. Minimalize it if you need to. If you need to make it very small and obscure, do so. Maybe just give it out to show this to people that's already sing to the choir. Okay, to the people that's already with you on this. Maybe you can have a Facebook group or something, but you really need to start doing something, sharing it, and probably expand this eventually. But you can start small if it feels too much, because you might already have, with this card, you might already have like your own thing, and you're already blossom, but it wants to expand. So you need to check how this can expand. And here we have awareness, that's the chariot. So it's like a journey where you share this, what you know, kind of a deeper knowing from the core of your soul that wants to come and expose itself, like this Buddha figure behind the veil. So this is awareness. This is you becoming more aware of who you are, stepping into like your true identity, instead of this humble old it's like you're hiding underneath some old cloth or something. It's what I feel every time I do your reading, like you have all been a bunch of monks and nuns, and just swear allegiance to celibacy, having no money, eating very little food, but having really beautiful gardens though, I see. Chastity vows, you need to kind of maybe break them a little bit. Poverty vows, you need to break them too. Vows about not eating, not dressing beautifully. You need to break all these things. Not to become someone else, but just try to mess around in the pot a little bit. Do something that's totally different, and just see what's happening. Sometimes we just need to stretch outside and pick in one or two things to make ourselves a little bit more complete. You don't have to change yourself. You're beautiful in the way you are. It's just that you need to be able to share that beauty and not always covering it up. And here we have the future. So going into May here, and we have intensity, and it comes, it's what I told you, that when the divine puts things into role, it's better to go with and than to kind of try to continue to postpone. Here you don't want to leave the cage really, but here either it comes some other energy, or the energy is increasing in heat, so you need to kind of go with it, or maybe self-combust in that place where you are, because you are so full of this radiant, beautiful energy, and it needs to be shared with others. Don't keep your secrets anymore. You will regret it. Next card is silence. So silence is the 17, the star card, and it comes through aloneness and courage. So it's this thing with you feeling that you're so lonely, that how can anyone understand you? They don't need to, okay? You can have thousands of people saying, no, you're wrong. This can't be how it is, and you don't have to be celebrated. You just need to put the seed down. This was your job, you remember? Even if it's a very infertile ground, someone needs to do it. Not many people are celebrating this person coming to the villages, saying, mumbling things about how people could live their lives. Look at Jesus, how it went for him. It wasn't that funny, but he fertilized the land, okay? So you need to do so too. And silence, it's the star card, and it's in reverse, so you don't know your own beauty and your own grandness, so therefore it's why you're keeping it modest. And whenever you are sticking your nose out, you are doing so like in an essence of being a little bit like, well, this is how it is, because you feel that everyone is against you, and everyone might be like a little bit surprised. Yes, that might be it. And you have like built up so much momentum here because you think that no one will believe you, and then you are shouting it out with this desperate voice, and no one's really opposing you. So that will be a surprise, I think. Okay. And if it's they are opposing you, it's fine. Remember what I said, someone needs to be the first, and you have a lot to share here. And here we have flowering. So this is the source itself. This is the one that spreads the seeds and just throw it everywhere. But you have a hard time with this. If you put a seed somewhere, you want to see it blossom as well. But I think it has to do something with this that we have seen with you a little bit before. It just seems remedies of it now, that you are being very tired. How can you share something if your energy is totally wasted? When you start to do the things in a very balanced way, in small scale, the things that you really makes you happy, you will get energy from it, not be wasting it. And you don't have to be manic about it and do everything at once. Just do small little things. Keep it jolly, keep it happy, keep it adventurous, okay? And you have this beautiful help from the divine as well here. It's around you everywhere. So they really, 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 really want you to put the seed to the ground here. And you are like, no, I don't want to. So I don't have the energy. I don't have the money. I don't have the looks. I don't have the talent. I don't have the education. It's so much that you are still lacking. And it's making you into this morality, the dried up old prune. No, it's actually what it says in the book. But the Queen of Swords is a good card. Queen of Swords is a person that she sees things. She can calculate things. She's like the game of chess, the essence of the game of chess. She can see everything, like every move before anyone wake it. No, there's no meaning. That will, okay, you take those, it will end up there. It will be checkmate. Okay, so you don't do it. And you think, well, I can do like this. Ding, 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 ding. No, that will end up like this. So she's very wise. She's very smart. But she's also a real downer. Because it's like she knows everything before it happens. So it's no meaning. Why should you waste your energy doing something that will fail anyway? So this is one side to you that's, to be honest, is a little bit dried up. It doesn't want to even try. It's already have tried everything, and it's exhausted. It kind of have given up. Morality, she's a little bit loner, much like the hermit here. Lives somewhere. Here it looks like maybe a prison bar or something. Maybe underneath a castle. while the hermit is in the cave. Both are hating other people because they are disturbing their mojo and doing a lot of stupid things that they wouldn't have done. So she's not that bad, but she is in this situation, she's not letting you live, okay? You're being kept here in the dungeons, postponing your life until it's over, and you can come back to the divine and say, well, I forgot. Yes, I was supposed to be the new Mahatma Gandhi for my country, but, well, I just forgot. What did you do instead? Well, I tried to keep myself hidden. I didn't want to shine that much. I had a lot of what could happen if I did a lot of things. So I kept myself in chess. I stayed at home. And here we have your inner voice. That's also a little bit suffocated since it comes in the reversed. But it's anyway, you will probably not be able to do this for so much longer. It's something that wants to come here. It's your own happiness. And so if you want to be happy, start to make a list of the things that will make you happy. This list will also be the list that will free your soul to do this, whatever it is that you are supposed to do. Inner voice, yes. The main key is, of course, to believe in yourself and also allow yourself to be able to do mistakes. It's fine. Only maybe you have identified so hard to be with the goody-goodies, like the good people that never makes mistakes. So you will lose your identity if you start to do something and start to make mistakes. So if you were a monk in all these lives and now you become like a tart, okay, and that was a mistake, you feel. It was better when I was a monk. People were much more respecting on me then, yes, and you had no life, okay. So free yourself, free your inner spirit, free your inner voice. All these rules, they are just for humans that once were very scared, coming out of their caves and figuring like, what if I'm being eaten by something? Or think of if someone is mean to me. Well, that might happen, and we will all turn to dust one day. So take this time when you are animated life and animate your life beautifully. So I'm thinking what's keeping these two lovely ladies from doing their work is this, well, she that knows it all already. She has been everywhere, done everything, and she knows it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So it's putting a little bit damper on your beautiful spiritual light. And it doesn't have to be this way. Okay, so I'll read about you now, Taurus, the abundance card here. It's Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but this time it's you, definitely. Since it comes centered, it's the center energy of this reading. So you will hear now what I have to say. This Dionysian character, not a monk, is the very picture of a whole man, a Sorba the Buddha, who can drink wine, dance on the beach, and sing in the rain, and at the same time enjoy the depths of understanding and wisdom that belong to the sage. In one hand he holds a lotus, showing that he respects and contains within himself the grace of the feminine. His exposed chest, an open heart, and relaxed belly show that he is at home with his masculinity as well, utterly self-contained. The four elements of earth, fire, water, and sky all conjunct at the King of Rainbows, who sits atop the book of the wisdom of life. If you are a woman, the King of Rainbow brings the support of your own male energy into your life, a union with the soulmate within. For a man, this card represents a time of breaking through the conventional male stereotypes and allowing the fullness of the whole human being to shine forth. In the East, people have condemned the body, condemned matter. They call matter illusory, Maya. It does not really exist. It only appears to exist. It is made of the same stuff as dreams are made of. They deny the world, and that is the reason for the East remaining poor, sick, in starvation. Half of humanity has been accepting the inner world but denying the outer world. The other half of humanity has been accepting the material world and denying the inner world. Both are half, and no man who is half can be connected. You have to be whole, rich in body, and this is why you have been monk in so many lives. So you're whole because you haven't experienced the material side of stuff, okay? You have to be whole, rich in the body, rich in science, rich in meditation, rich in consciousness. Only a whole person is a holy person, according to me. I want Sorba and Buddha to meet. Sorba alone is hollow. His dance has no eternal significance. It is momentary pleasure. Soon he will be tired of it, unless you have inexhaustible sources available to you from the cosmos itself. If you go with what's happy and what you're supposed to do, you will get more energy. Unless you become existential, you cannot become whole. This is my contribution to humanity, the whole person, the one that can be rich in every sense. Okay, so that was the word of Deva Padma, sorry. And now you will hear the voice of Alana Fairchild, Wild Kuan Yin Oracle, how she has yes, downloaded the Divine Mother. Her joy renders the impossible task possible. So this, what the old prune says, is impossible. It's not. Your joy, your joy of being alive and doing this, instead of, it's like you have too many. This is what you need to do. Like too many bookings, too many responsibility areas, too many chores, too many, like if you don't do this, the world will stop. So you can't do this what is funny, because then the world will stop, and that would be a tremendous mistakes on your behalf. Actually, I don't think it would stop. I just think it would start to become what it should have been, what it should be, sorry. Her joy renders the impossible task possible. I have created a big, bold dream in your heart just for you. It will help you fulfill your divine destiny. To manifest this dream, you shall have to give up what you have been holding on to, so you can instead open your arms to receive. So all these shoulds, for example. In the dropping your ideas of impossibility and stepping into the joy of the journey, your destiny will manifest, and all manner of miracles shall assist you on your way. You shall have such fun in the process of discovering what you are capable of when your heart is open and you believe in me unconditionally. When you leap, do it with with joy upon your lips, as a squeal with glee, and know that even the trickiest task shall be made attainable through my grace. Pleasure is the key to successful taking the next leap of faith on your life path. You are guided to allow joy to be your safety net, your attitude, the feeling by which you are guided, and the basis of your decisions. Bliss, happiness, joy, these are high frequency, high states of being that cannot be contrived, and yet, despite what mainstream culture tends to think, are not dependent on our life circumstances. That is a great and powerful teaching, and perhaps one of the most radically freeing teachings the Divine Mother can ever bestow upon us. To learn to feel joy in your hearts without having to have a particular reason for it is the beginning of access to great spiritual power. To be able to tap into the frequency of joy, of simple delight, into being alive and utter appreciation, reverence and gratitude for the humor, diversity and beauty, even the confounding, inexplicable mystery of creation, is remarkable. It is the way to cultivate divine power, the sort of power that always allows you, to feel complete in trust and land with perfect precision in the best of circumstances possible for you to fulfill your divine destiny. So you have a divine destiny. It's time to go out and fulfill it, and no more postponement. Okay, don't be humble. Be you. Okay. So my dear Taurus, I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care of you and these beautiful dreams, that dream that the world needs to be able to share with you. And I welcome you back to my May reading that I will perform in the mid of April. Okay, bye bye.